Dear friends, welcome back to Akshadare. I'm your Devraj. Today is 9th October 2023. I hope you guys are learning great and earning great. So let's start today newspaper reading. Before going to start that today newspaper reading, so I would request you guys to please subscribe the channel, like and comment. So please share if you like the video with your friends. So it may useful for somebody. So they can utilize the opportunities which will be provided by the Akshadare and team. So let's start today's newspaper reading. The Bangalore edition, the Hindu, which is very important for the competitive exams. Let's see what's in the front page. It's Education Plus page has been given in the front page. Scholarships page is given. It is like achieving scholarships. Eligibility open to citizens of achieving eligible territory who hold a UG degree that enables entry into a PG program at UK University by the time of the submission of the application. Applicants must have at least 2 years of work experience equivalent to 2,800 hours and be willing to return to India for a minimum of 2 years after the completion of the award. Centur Scholarship Program aims to support the UG studies of young women from disadvantaged background. CBSE Merit Scholarship Scheme for Single Girl Child. With the quest for learning and skilling being a lifelong process, students must be encouraged to develop a growth mindset. This is the front page. Aditya L1 trajectory correction maneuver performed. Study find to Dole Tiger coexistence. Death toll rises to 2,000, 10,000 injured. Bihar caste survey census for a new deal. It is new synthesization of a class politics. Rahul Kohli power India to victory. NC Congress alliance sweeps Kargil election with the 22 of 26 seats. BJP wins too. Israeli hate strikes found Gaza as death toll climbs. Reports say at least 600 killed in attacks by Hamas. Gaza Health Ministry says 370 dead in Israelis retaliatory strikes. Israeli military deploys tens of thousands of soldiers around Gaza. Indians asked to remain in contact with the embassy. Metro corridor launch takes a political turn. Indian leaders wield a new digital megaphone. Video of man's body being burnt in a trench surfaces in Manipur. Death toll in cracker go down blaze rises to 14. Chief Minister announces probe by the Criminal Investigation Department. Attibele police have registered a case against the owner of the shop come go down, his son and the building owner. Fire safety concerns soar as highway stretch is lined with cracker shops. Dreams of a better life cut short by tragedy. My son wanted to continue his education, which we could not afford, so he had come here to work and earn some monies to pay college fees. But now both his son and my dreams are shattered. Shops remains closed in Osur. Fire at Manmul Dairy. Whitefield call Challagatta metro service from today. Tibile tragedy. It was a Herculean task to even gain access to the godown, says a firefighter. Researchers find high rate of pediatric tuberculosis infection in household contacts of index patients. While 50% of 686 children examined in the study were found to be infected, an infection had developed into disease in 3%. Nearly 80% of these cases occurred in the 6 to 15 age group. Kumaraswamy endorses Shamanu's weaves and postings to Lingayat officials. CM likely to discuss caste census issue with Congress High Command. Emergency helpline for those stuck in Israel. Li-ion battery recycling booming market with a reverse logistics challenge. The demand for Li-ion batteries has also brought to the fore the need for an organized battery recycling industry. Li-ion recycling is still in its nascent stages in India and has gaps to be fixed. Timely intervention helps re-implementation of women's for serve severed fingers. Are you a dog plea person or a cat plea person? Dystopian dreams of a teenage metalhead. Gujaratist guitarist, vocalist, and composer Arav Krishnan Aka Arka talks of his debut album released by an international label and the importance of always putting fun first. When endangered species get stamped. A book about female friendships. It inspects Tamil Nadu quarries and starts sand mining probe. Detonator flung at MLA's car, one held. Photos of Godse displayed during a Shobha Yatra in Chitradurga. Essay to take up a TDP chief's petition today. Let's read this article, editorial page written by the political researcher. A census for a new deal. Marcel Proust wrote, men, their natures not altering overnight, seek in every new order a continuance of the old. Caste and religion have remained the master cleavages of Indian politics for most of the last century. The caste survey released by the Bihar government with coordinated support from the entire opposition can be described as a Proustian political move. It tries to constitute a new political opening through the instrument of an old paradigm. This unpurling of the contesting flags of caste and religious identity gives the first clear shape to the ideological contours of the 2024 general elections. It also firmly reinforces the role of these twin ethnic identities constructions as the fundamental pillars of political mobilization. Many critics have dubbed the move as regressive, cynical, and unimaginative, and a return to the Mandal versus Mandir politics we had supposedly left behind in the 1990s. Yet, this framing assumes caste and religion based identity politics to be pre formed packages whose practices have remained stagnant over the last 3 decades, even as the political economy has been transformed by liberalization. Mandal 2.0. The politics of religion and caste respond and adapt to changes in the larger socio-economic structure as the political scientist Pradeep Chibor and Rahul Verma explain in their book Ideology and Identity. The changing party systems of India, the majority coalition assembled by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi was rooted in a novel political constituency formed with the post-liberalization expansion of the middle class. The leadership of Mr. Modi for the middle class promised a firm institutionalization of the dominant norms on state intervention, material consumption, and ethno political front, while middle class anxieties and aspirations have long comprised a key driver of Hindu nationalist mobilization. Their concrete ideological fusion under Mr. Modi charismatic appeal is what shaped the present political era. This was Mandi Politics 2.0. Similarly, the Bihar caste survey inaugurates not the reenaction of the old Mandal politics of narrow caste based patronage, but the coming of a age of a subordinate class based politics. This is also Mandal 2.0. This is new synthesization of a class politics in the familiar trappings of caste, primarily caste. Primarily, it seeks to tap into the frustrated and deeply felt desire held by large sections of the precariat to achieve middle class status, such as status constitutes both an economic marker and a fragile social status symbol. This precariat is roughly one half of the country which finds itself sandwiched between the poor and the middle class. They have been facing a stagnant trend of upward mobility inside of an informal economy which offers little substantive productions. An estimated 75 million people, according to the Pew Research Center, slipped back into poverty during the COVID 19 pandemic. The bulk of this precariat, which can be found in rural and urban India across occupations, is composed of lower other backward classes, Dalits, and Muslims. In their book Behind Consumption, India's New Middle Class in the Neoliberal Times, Manish Keja and Pushpendra chart the composition of the middle class in terms of different caste groups. Briefly, 5% of upper caste fall in the upper middle class segment, compared to 3% of the OBC and 1.4% of Dalits. These variations are significant and sharpen pyramidically. The gaps are also starker in the belt states of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, where upper caste dominance is more entrenched. Such status inequality also trends to be much higher among Hindus than among other religious groups. For instance, Muslim OBCs form a larger proportion of both upper class and middle class segments compared to Muslim upper caste. The coalition of the precariat depends on the glue of an enlarged ethnic bloc such as the OBCs because it can only be forged on abstract or universal ideas. Simply put, the precariat does not possess the symbolic capital to do so. The French sociologist Pierre Bourdieu defined symbolic capital as the capacity to shape the perception of social reality. This allows certain dominant groups to impose a particular vision of the world in the name of a universal truth. Such influence is wielded largely by the Hindu middle class. Meanwhile, members of the precariat, such as the deeply fragmented and underprivileged OBCs, possess few of these social, cultural, and ideological resources. They prefer to articulate their own politics of upward mobility in terms of concrete caste identities, which draw on an alternative symbolic capital of their experience of caste and historical memories of struggle. It is, of course, important to acknowledge the considerable failures of mandal politics in the belt. Unlike in southern state India, caste politics in the north made no substantive dent on the political economy our institutions of power and governance, or even on poverty reduction. It was too focused on building patronage based short term electoral coalitions rather than building a broad and durable political constituency, as did the successful Dravidian movement in Tamil Nadu. Yet, to be fair to the caste politics of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, unlike in Kerala and Tamil Nadu, it was enacted at a time when their underprivileged support base had relatively modest economic and cultural capital. Thus, the acquisition of a political capital, which Kanshi called the master key for the acquisition of other resources, required innovative and often unsavory means. Pan Indian consensus. This time around, a progressive politics of caste seems to have generated a far broader political consensus than Mandal politics ever did. The party supporting the caste census command a combined vote share in national elections that exceeds the vote share of the ruling BJP, which awkwardly holds on to an ambiguous stand on the issue. These parties include not just the Congress and the India Alliance constituents, but also the bulk of unaligned parties such as the OSR Congress Party, the Telugu Das Desham Party, the Bharat Rashtra Samiti, and the Biju Janata Dal. In all regions of India, caste politics has clearly sustained legitimacy as an instrument of popular mobilization, vernacularizing the norms, losing maturity, and democratizing the social base of politics. Yogendra Yadav such a large scale and non pan Indian consensus is fairly rare and reflects the expanded range of possibilities for a progressive politics of caste. Franklin Roosevelt's New Deal, which facilitated an unprecedented expansion of the American middle class in the 1930s and 1940s and lifted a working class ravaged by the Great Depression, was a radical institutional solution. It was essentially a political strategy to build a cross ethnic coalition of working class white voters whose precarity had been intensified by the Great Depression. This coalition included the low status recent immigrants of Irish, Italian, and East European descent, mobilized through localized patronage based politics, machine politics. The politics of the New Deal made use of some of these grimy mobilizing mechanisms, but went behind it to evolve into an institutional remaking of American capitalism. There was a systemic shift in the economic regime to the benefit of workers. The popularity of the New Deal made Roosevelt the only president to serve 4 consecutive terms. This is not to make comparisons, but only to highlight that ethnic and class politics can work on complementary to one another. As it only at a starting stage, the politics of castes we emphasize grander notions of equal participation. जितनी आबादी उतनी हक. Our rights proportionate are right proportionate to population and an institutional negotiated distribution of resources. One reason why Mandal politics eventually devolved into narrow caste and formation was the splitting of the stream of former politics from the erstwhile bloc of socialist politics, and later the rupture of lower OBCs from the others. Yet, as Anthony Giddens had as argued, social actors like ethnicities or castes contain purposive agents, not automatons directed by an external structure or a false consciousness. The political elites, such as the Jats in Haryana and the Matas in Maharashtra, have begun to shun exclusivist strategies and gravitate towards a larger OBC platform. This could be seen in the farmers' agitation and the Maratha Kunbi quota state. Supported by Nationalist Congress Party leader Sharad Pawar in Maharashtra, it is also possible that sections of the lower OBCs may also re-evaluate the returns, the terms of economic mobility and social prestige of choosing a political Hindu platform as opposed to an OBC platform. Let's go to the next Tufan Al Qaqsa George West Asian geostrategic architecture. Let's read this editorial page written by the diplomat. There are uncanny similarities between the Hamas operation Tufa al-Aqsa flood and the launch of the 19-day Yom Kippur War 50 years ago. Although the latter was inconclusive, it led to a regional tectonic shift, with Israel accepting a land for peace formula at Camp David Accords 6 years later. With this jerky roll of the regional geostrategic kaleidoscope, can a similar outcome follow even as the ground situation is evolving? Some broad but inherently tentative surmises can be made. Key takeaways from a military perspective: despite the fighting on its territory, Israel is not under an existential threat. The outcome is also not in doubt. Israel is expected to prevail and push back Hamas, which lacks resources to sustain the campaign. The massive ground incursion into Gaza could follow to exact vengeance, restore morale, reimpose the strategic asymmetry, and to try to rescue captured soldiers and civilians. The unsavory experience from object intelligence, a failure to the misplaced reliance on high tech missile defense and artificial intelligence would compel Israel to revise its strategic doctrines. The shock and awe of the Hamas blitzkrieg portrayed in war images have created new but lasting social media icons. Depending on the end game, this conflict could potentially revive the military option and further boost the standing up non-state Arab militias such as Hamas, Islamic Jihad, Hezbollah, Al-Houthis, Islamic State, various avatars of Al-Qaeda and Al-Shabaab. Third, although the conflict could protract, it could remain geographically confined as Hamas and Islamic Jihad. Both Gaza-based Sunni outfits have few all-weather fronts, and in the domestic arena, the Palestinian Authority is vertically split between the West Bank run by Al-Fatah in a modus vivendi with Israeli occupation authorities, and Gaza administered by Hamas, which refuses to recognize Israel as the Fatah gerontocracy has failed to stop Israeli land grabs in the West Bank. It is losing credibility with the masses, particularly young Palestinians. Hamas and Islamic Jihad are taking advantage to establish their shells in the West Bank, leading to an iron fisted Israeli response. Thus, while the Palestinian Authority would praise the resistance and express indignation at the Israeli war crimes, it would privately wish something else for its two political rivals. Regionally, too, the granular picture is largely non-supportive of Hamas. The only Arab neighbor of Gaza is Egypt, whose pro-West military regime has a little lost for the Gazan ruler as they were allies of the Muslim Brotherhood that Egyptian generals overthrew in 2013. Cairo, nevertheless, is trying to de escalate the current situation. All the Gulf monarchies, except Qatar, strongly disapprove of Hamas, calling it a political Islamic outfit. Although Qatar regularly provides generous dollars of humanitarian assistance to the Gazans, it does not wish to annoy Washington. Turkey, a big regional Sunni power, traditionally supports Hamas, but Ankara's badly bruised economy has limited its outreach. Moreover, it is trying to reconnect with Israel and the Gulf monarchies. Hamas and Islamic Jihad burnt their bridges with Damascus a decade ago by supporting the anti-Assad Arab Spring Intifada. While Damascus and Hamas had a official reconciliation last year, the latter comma still rankles. Shia Iran has long been a mentor of the two Sunni outfits. At one point, creating a clandestine weapons and ammunition supply line through Sudan and Egypt to Gaza. Iran has tried to replicate its success in creating a Hezbollah type pro-state in Gaza to threaten Israel on two fronts. Other pro-Iranian regional outfits like Al Houthis could support the Gazans. On balance, there's a long war between Hamas and Israel seems less likely, unless Hamas overplays its hand in negotiating the release of the Israeli hostages. And Achilles heel for Israel, putting all bets up. A double Arquitz option. This crisis effectively presents Israel's current 10-month old ultra nationalist government with a double Arquitz option. Even before Tufan al Aqsa, Jerusalem's hard line has led to a surge in violence with over 200 Palestinians and 30 Israelis dead this year. Given the Israeli traditional policy and such matters coupled with the current adrenaline high ambience, the line is likely to get harder. The crisis is also likely to quarrel the national unity. The profound consequences for regional geopolitics could include a delay in the rapprochement between Saudi Arabia and Israel, as Tel Aviv could be unwilling to grant the concessions to the Palestinians sought by Riyadh. Other Abraham Accords signatories would hope that their wager on economic gains riding roughshod over the regional politics would stand. Iran could feel emboldened by their arch enemy being a mortal combat. While India is not directly affected by Tufan al-Aqsa, it would nevertheless feel some heat. Protracted regional turbulence could cause collateral damage through an oil price rise. backed our diaspora and dim the prospects for India, Middle East, Europe economic corridor and other I2 U2 constructs. It can also highlight India as a safe, fast growing economy for foreign investments, largely insulated from the turmoil. Let's go to the next editorial, next page. Tightrope walk by not raising interest rates. RBI betrays its concerns about slowing growth. Revisiting the rail gauge debate, cash survey data and cold storage. Karnataka's caste census has not been accepted because of political compulsions. Israel Gaza war, 1,000 dead, thousands displaced. 600 people were killed in Israel, a staggering toll the country has not experienced in decades. Sikkim blast flood, 32 bodies recovered. Search continues. Capsules recovered include those of 9 army men. 78 people are missing in Pokyang district, 23 in Gongtak district, 15 in Mangan, and 6 in Namchi. Radars, drones are and army dogs have been deployed for the search operations, say officials. Victims of Balasur time accident to be cremated. Israeli strikes pound Gaza as death toll rises. Indian has asked to remain in contact with embassy. Indian Air Force unveils new ensign as it may marks its 91st anniversary. GST Council clears a few measures to boost foreign trade. NC Kong sweeps Cargill elections with 22 seats. Army concludes 2070 schemes under EP4 worth 11,000 crore. Retail inflation likely eased in September but may be higher. BJP leaders voice support for Israel. Congress left call for peace. BJP compares the violence to the terrorist attacks India had faced during the UPA regime. Never forgive, never forget. 40 says Congress sees it as backed legitimate aspirations of Palestinians while ensuring legitimate security interests of Israel. Congress tries to win a Brahmin vote had polls in Haryana. Indian can take back Sindhu too, says Yogi Adityanath. Samyukta Kisan Mocha condemns charges against farmers protest in a news click FIR. Congress MP demands a Bihar-like caste census in Assam. Muslim community is with us, says SP and Masood are joining Congress. ISRO performs a trajectory correction for Aditya L1. The spacecraft is added to Lagrangian 1 point, which lies between Sun-Earth line. Latest maneuver marked the beginning of Aditya L1, a 110-day journey expected to end in January. Students can choose to take board exams once or twice a year. CBI raids House of Bengal Minister and Trinamool MLA. 1,182 members of extremist group assigned in Assam. As a flags need for a dependable code of police investigation. A prey a base habitat dictate Asiatic wild dog tiger coexistence study. Two Indian trainee pilots killed in plane crash in Canada. 22 drowned during a Jeevit Putrika festival. Nitish announces a hate. This Tira's list. Two killed, no missed, two missing after avalanche hits Tibet's Mount Pangma. Myanmar HC rejects appeal by Suki against graft convictions. California governor vetoes bill which bans caste discrimination. Prime Minister Xavier Bettel seeks a new term to head Luxembourg. Biden orders US ships warplanes to move closer to Israel, sends munitions. Two Israeli tourists, one Egyptian dead in Alexandria shooting. Earthquake death toll rises to 2,000 as skewers search flattened Afghan villages. Dozen, including infant, wounded in overnight attacks on South Ukraine. It would not happen to me. Action versus passive funds, active versus passive funds. Tickets trouncing. An actively managed fund demands higher management costs while a passively managed index fund enjoys lower management costs, reducing churning costs and fewer advisory-related fees. As of today, the data significantly supports the notion that adopting a passive indexing strategy is a wise decision for long-term investors. One of fastest batter to reach a thousand run mark in World Cup. I play for CSK, so I know the conditions in Chennai. Jadeja, Trasposer evicted from MAC Stadium in India-Australia match. Sri Lanka fined for slow over rate in match against South Africa. Rahul Kohli mastered the situation under Australia. Their 165 run stand for the fourth wicket rescues the Aus from a precarious three wickets for two runs and propels the team to victory after Jadeja's and co-restricts Cummins went to 1999. 199. Smith's wicket proved the turning point. Jadeja. BCCI quells India jersey rumors. Saudi and Ferguson said to return for Netherlands clash. We approach every game the same way, says Phillips. India walks the talk and makes good on the Abki Bar Super slogan. Thank you, Agju. Hello, Hachi Nagoyo. The 2023 World Cup finds its wires at last. Stokes unlikely to play against Bangladesh. Martinelli delivers as Arsenal pips Man City. This is my best Verstappen after winning third F1 title. Sinner qualifies for ATP finals. Ayush claims branch in World Junior Badminton. Arya Diljit has squashed the track in the LGP Formula 4 category. Alabama will strive to come good in future. Nikki and Divij clinch a challenger doubles title. IOA chief Yusha says it's time for India to bid for the Summer Olympic Games. Jackson Blasto beating hot. The 22-year-old has been ever present in Indian football for a half decade now. The defensive midfielder is a vital cog in Uko Monovica and Stimac sides, answering both teams with efficiency and play. Test yourself on some assorted trivia and questions across various sports and games. Unraveling the links between consanguinity and genetic diseases. Many genetic concepts were unearthed by studying the intricate tapestry of royal marriages in Europe and other diseases that the individuals had. But since the democratization genetic and genomics, scientists have been able to study the general population in the same way on a larger scale. No taxes first round, then motion. This is the last two pages, text and context page. A number of gold medals won by China in the Asian Games. The people who died in the Afghanistan earthquake. Innings taken by David Warner to reach a thousand World Cup runs. The number of IPOs to hit the street in the second half of financial year 2024. The amount foreign portfolio investors sold in October, 8,000 in crore. What causes the flood in Sikkim? What are glacier lake outburst floods? How do infrastructure projects like the Changthang Dam affect the fragile ecosystem of the Himalayas? Can such events be predicted and prevented? What damage has flood done in the state? This is the last page, guys. So just sit tight while I finish this project. If you don't have any work to do, you can take a siesta during that time in the break room. How the Digital India Act will shape the future of the country's cyber landscape. The proposed DIA encompasses several pivotal classes that mirror the dynamic evolution of the digital environment, addressing its multifaceted challenges and opportunities. These provisions underscore the legislation's responsiveness to the ever changing digital ecosystem. These Equidjan political leaders from the five states such as Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Mizoram, Rajasthan, Telangana, they are set to that are set to go to force later this year. This is the last page, guys. I hope you guys would enjoy. I hope you guys enjoying the newspaper reading. At least continue for 2 hours to make you better in communication. If you guys have any doubts or comments, kindly leave the comment in the comment box that I can resolve your doubts. So please subscribe the channel, like and comment. If you like the video, please share with your friends. It may useful for somebody. And see you in the upcoming videos, guys. Have a great day. Bye bye. Take care.